I remember one doctor specifically, she stood above my head, and I remember her asking her, am I dying? My inferior vena cava, that was nicked by a bullet. My spleen, liver, small intestine, lungs, stomach were all damaged and hit by bullets, or as the bullets went through. I was the victim of a violent crime. Hi, my name is Brittany. I'm an activist and I am 25 years old. I am located in the United States. On October 25th, 2022, I was the victim of a random, unprovoked shooting. I was on my way home from work, and as I had just taken my exit off of the highway, someone started driving into oncoming traffic. Before I knew it, they had swerved back over into the other lane, which was my lane, directly in front of me. They slammed on their brakes, immediately hopped out of their car, and fired 9 shots into my car. I didn't know the shooter. It was completely random. I didn't provoke the shooter. I sustained a number of injuries. I believe it was 14 total, but the bigger ones that I sustained were a broken right elbow, my inferior vena cava, that is the largest vein in your body. It carries blood to the rest of your body. That was nicked by a bullet. My spleen, liver, small intestine, lungs, stomach, and spleen were all damaged and hit by bullets, or as the bullets went through, and I was hospitalized for 22 days. When the shooting happened, people were coming up to my car, people were working inside my car, but no one was doing anything. It wasn't until a few minutes after the shooting that had happened that someone who lived in the neighborhood and had heard everything going on that had come to help me. I had to call 911 on my own because no one was doing anything. After the ambulance got there, I remember they had a hard time getting me out of my car. They put me in the back of the ambulance and they took me to St. Luke's Hospital of Kansas City. Once we arrived at the hospital, I remember them taking me to like this back area, the trauma area, and there were so many people in the room. There was probably at least 15 to 20 people in the room, all checking me, touching me, looking in my eyes, checking my ears, trying to just assess everything. I remember one doctor specifically, she stood above my head, and I remember her asking her, am I dying? Am I going to die? I was intubated, I was on a ventilator, and that means I could not breathe on my own. I was transferred to a different floor after the ICU. I stayed there for another 10 days and had 2 more surgeries, and after that, on November 16th, 2022, I was discharged from the hospital and I was able to go home. Healing after the shooting has been quite a roller coaster. Each day is different for sure. Physically and mentally, the healing each have had their own separate battles, and I've struggled independently with both, but I just try to keep in mind that my body saved me. It kept me safe. I have a lot of scars from the incident. You can see a few here on my neck. Other scars include from my broken arm that runs all the way up to this part of my arm. And so I would get stares and I felt a little, self-conscious. They did find the shooter. Thankfully, I had a dash cam in my car, so it had recorded the whole event, had the shooter's face, and clear as day. The shooter was sentenced to 15 years. One message that I have to gun violence survivors is keep your head up and give yourself grace. I know everybody's telling you that. Everybody told me that. I didn't want to listen, and I continue to this day. There are moments where I am still very hard on myself, but my message to other survivors is give yourself grace.